Beginner guitarists often get confused or lost when it comes to locating the next note in the scale. These situations involve not knowing whether the next note in the ascending major scales is a major second or a minor second away, or whether the next scale tone is on the same string or an adjacent string. If you often find yourself in this situation, then this lesson will teach you a simple hack to help you visualize major and minor seconds in scale shapes using the NANDI method. Let's take a look at the intervals in the major scale. The major scale, otherwise known as the diatonic scale, is built on a whole step, half step formula. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. In the ascending scale, there is a whole step or major seconds between intervals 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 5 and 6, and 6 and 7. You will only find a half step or minor second between intervals 3 and 4 and 7 and 1. Now, let's go over the pitch distance between the notes on each string. You will notice in the fret diagrams below that when there are 3 notes on a string, the interval between the notes is either a minor second followed by a major second, or a major second followed by a minor second. In every major scale, no matter which shape you choose to play, you will find only one instance of a major second on a single string. Let's reference the chart of fourths you see here to figure out the vertical minor and major second interval patterns along the strings in our major scale shapes. When the lowest intervals on a string are 7 or 3, you will find a minor second followed by a major second. This applies to intervals 7, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. When 6 or 2 is the lowest note on a string, you will find a major second followed by a minor second, which corresponds to 6, 7, 1, and 2, 3, 4. 5, 6 is a major second. You will find that the only instance of just 2 notes on a string is when the lowest note is 5. This is because we do not have a note that is a half step below 5 or a note that is a half step above 6. Since intervals 1 and 4 have scale degrees, 7 and 3 a half step below, we revert back to the minor second, major second pattern from 7 and 3. Now, let's apply the same interval pattern of seconds to major scale notes. Let's consider the G major scale. To figure out the notes in G major, let's use the NANDI method. Starting from the 7th scale degrees and following a pattern of fourths, we can arrive at the following notes for the G major scale: F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C. Here you can see the intervals and corresponding notes of the G major scale on our chart of fourths. Starting from the 7th and 3rd major scale degrees, or notes F sharp and B, we will find that F sharp, G, A, and B, C, D conform to the minor second, major second interval pattern on the 2 adjacent strings. Moving to E and A, the next 2 letters in our chart of fourths, which correspond to the 6th and 2nd scale degrees, we will find that E, F sharp, G, and A, B, C follow a major second, minor second interval pattern on adjacent strings. The sole major second from the 5th scale degree, or D, will be E, or 6. These shortcuts can be applied not only to the E shape, but to any of the 5 cage shapes in any major scale. Now, let's watch a clip of an E shape, G major scale, played on our mobile app, Major Scales, within the scale training series, Guitar Scales Unleashed. This app is available for purchase on the App Store and Google Play for just 99 cents. With this app, you can practice identifying 14 major scales in the 5 cage shapes in both interval and note format. In the training mode, you can practice at slower speeds with the built-in metronome. To test your proficiency in identifying scale tones, you can play 5 different games with varying degrees of difficulty in game mode, and challenge yourself at speeds reaching 240 beats per minute. Other app features include the dual fretboard display. The horizontal fretboard with 15 frets comes with a zoom feature. Notes identified in the small chord box is simultaneously displayed in the horizontal fretboard, which can then be played back at different speeds using the metronome. Notes are color-coded for easy visualization of the caged scale shapes. Here you can see a short example of the free cheat sheet that is included in the app. This list of shortcuts includes major scale intervals and their inversions, as well as their string and fret locations. In this lesson, we have demonstrated one of the many ways in which the NANDI method of fourths can be used to visualize the fretboard as intervals, which, in this case, refers exclusively to the minor and major seconds that run vertically along the length of the strings within each major scale shape. Understanding the semitone-whole tone relationship between the notes in the major scale will make you more confident while navigating major scales in any region of the fretboard. You do not have to rely on your memory to figure out the next interval in the scale or its string location. There you have it, major scale hack to visualize seconds with the NANDI method.